Global Impact DVD, which I did buy. Yes, I did actually go out and buy it after I said I wasn't going to buy it because Don West is an evil, evil man and put together a deal that I felt like I had to go. So, I had to get it. And we'll get into that, and that's why this won't be a true review and be more of me just kind of talking over things. But, let me say this, right off the bat. This is, without a doubt, the best produced, as far as production values, DVD TNA has ever put out, which is saying something when I believe it only took them 3 months to put that, or not 3 months, but 2 months, I think, for production into this. Maybe it was 3, but somewhere along there, putting this into production, and it was absolutely amazing, that part of it. We get some of the extras that are on this I'd like to talk about. We get some guys talking about Japan wrestling, Japan in general, them wrestling in Japan, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, the first one we get is Jeff Jarrett, and I understand Jeff Jarrett being on here. This was a big event for TNA. This was, for those of you that don't know what Global Impact actually was TNA's part of New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 2 show, which they do explain. They don't show the complete event on here. That's probably a very minor gripe because they don't show the non-TNA matches, which I completely understand and have no big gripe, even though Muto was on one of those matches. To see that match on here, but it's not on here, and I can get that match elsewhere, and actually I have gotten that match elsewhere, so that's fine. Anyways, we start off with Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett kind of talks about all of this, but then they go into about Japan, TNA's relationship with Japanese wrestling, that sort of thing, him being in Japan. They also go into the whole Hulk Hogan thing, which I don't get at all. I didn't get why they did the whole him hitting the head over Hulk Hogan, but I guess that was a big story for whatever reason, and I guess they did it because this was taking place in Japan. I'm not real sure. But anyways, I could have done with less Jeff Jarrett. I think they could have used that time to put Don West, Mike Tenay on here to talk a little bit more about Japanese wrestling, to put some more of the guys that are more familiar and have more of a star power, such as Scott Steiner, for example. I would have loved to have heard him talk about Japan a little bit. I think that would have been a really, really cool thing, considering that him and his brother are considered gods and probably only below the Road Warriors when it comes to American tag teams, which is saying a lot, folks. We also heard Kurt Angle, who did a pretty good job, even though, his Japanese thing isn't too much. It was pretty much the same thing that was on the Global Impact special, which I didn't really review because I didn't like it. I didn't like the first half of it. I thought the first half of it was kind of crappy, and then, of course, we got the last half, which was basically the title match, which was very good. But Christian Cage talked. I love Christian. I think Christian's funny. I love Christian's segment. But in truth, I would have liked to have seen a guy, again, Rick Steiner, maybe some more of Christopher Daniels, somebody with a bit more history with Japanese wrestling than Christian does. Then we heard Petey Williams. I wasn't really sure why we had Petey on here instead of AJ, but we got Petey. Brother Devon was on here, which was good to see. For those of you who don't know, the Team 3D is actually very, very big in Japan due to their ECW type of thing. And Christopher Daniels did a little promo as well, even though this was after Christopher Daniels was fired, but they did explain that on the DVD, which, knowing TNA, it probably wouldn't surprise you, but they did explain why he was on the DVD, because they explained that he went over there because he had already had a contract with New Japan before he was fired, and that's why he was on the DVD, which was a good little cop-out and something you don't usually expect from TNA, in my opinion. The matches were kind of as follows. We had Christian Cage, AJ Styles, and Petey Williams versus Milano Collection AT, Minru, and Prince Devitt. This was a good, solid six-man tag match, your basic Japanese six-man tag match. It was kind of slow in some places, and I would have liked to seen it picked up a little bit, particularly with the guys that were in there, since you basically had juniors in there, and this wasn't much of a juniors match or an X Division match. But it was still pretty good opening. I'd give it 2 3/4 stars. Didn't have a problem with it and liked it. Particularly since, particularly Prince Devitt, I had not seen much of it. I've only seen very limited of him. Next, we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Christopher Daniels versus Inoue. This was good. I would give this a solid 3 stars. Again, it wasn't as fast-paced as I would have liked to have seen, but that's just my own personal preference. But it was still good. The fans, unlike the first match where the fans really weren't into it, the fans were kind of more into this, and it was nice to see. Then we had Abyss versus Nakanishi. This was not very good, to be honest, but it was still, it would have been okay with what they were doing, but it was kind of sloppy, to be completely honest, and I'd only give this 1 3/4 stars. And then we had Team 3D versus Nakamibe and Yano, which was Makabe. Listen to me, I can't even talk. Forget it. I'm not even going to try because I'm going to ruin his name. Now that I've started trying to mess up his name, I'm going to keep messing up his name. This was supposed to be a hardcore type match. It really didn't come off very well. It was okay. I'd give it 2 stars. It wasn't anything to really write home about. Next, we had the Steiner brothers versus Tomko and John Bernard. This was more of a Legends match, given the fact the Steiner brothers are thought to be so huge in Japan. This had a little bit of American booking to it. It was kind of had a screw jobby finish to it, but still, I thought it was an okay match. I'd give this 2 stars as well. And then we had Kurt Angle versus Yuji Nagata. And this was a great match. Most of you have already seen this, I think, on here on YouTube. This was a good 4-star match, in my opinion. Overall, the DVD portion, I would definitely recommend, simply due to the fact that this thing was very good. If this was just a pay-per-view, I probably wouldn't recommend it. I probably only give it a 7 or so. But given the fact that with the production values, the fact that you get not only Don West and Mike Tenay commentating, which they actually did a very good job commentating on this, you also get the original Japanese commentating, which a lot of Japanese wrestling fans, such as myself, has always wanted when a U.S. company releases something like this, is to include the Japanese commentary, just so we can hear it. They also included the post-match press conferences, which is a Japanese tradition, which was nice to see. Basically, everything you would like to see on this DVD was here. So I can't, and I think they did a very good job with the production values. As I said, the best produced DVD I think I've ever seen from TNA. Very good. They said they wanted to do more of these. I would actually love them to release yearly a Japanese Stars in Japan DVD. I think that'd be very good, in my opinion. But that's probably not something that we will ever see. But hey, what you gonna do? So I would definitely give the DVD itself an 8. It's a very good DVD. Go out and check it out if you can. Of course, the only way to check it out, though, is to go to TNA Shop and check it out and spend the money to do it, which I did do, and this is why, however, because we have this. If you saw if you saw Don West's insane deal for this, it came with 3 autographs, Kurt Angle, and Tomko's, which if you went to a TNA show, I believe, are $20 a piece, so there's $40 extra, so that's $60 with the DVD. And you get Yuji Nagata's autograph, which we'll say $20 as well, even though I'd probably never be able to get his autograph. So that's another 20, so we're up to 80. And you get this. Now you can see that better than I thought you'd be able to. This is the actual program for Wrestle Kingdom 2. This is amazing. This was awesome. The picture Upper Deck or somebody to do something like this for them. There are ads in here. 90% of this, I say 95% of this thing is written in Japanese, so I can't understand a lot of what's in here. But overall, this is just an awesome thing to have, and I would recommend TNA to do something like this for their major shows. Myself, absolutely wonderful. Everyone that I know that has gotten the deal has pretty much said that book kicks ass. So I know a lot of people have asked me once they found out I got the deal what I thought of it. It's awesome. I recommend it just for that and the DVD. I would recommend you spending that. Yes, I know it's $100, but that book is awesome, and it's it's a splurge, but hey, what are you gonna do? So overall, I would definitely, if you got the money, pick up the deal. If it's still available. I know that it was very limited supplies, but the DVD, very good. It's probably not worth the money that TNA is going to cost you with shipping and handling, but still an excellent DVD, and I would recommend everybody going out and checking it out. Great job, TNA. I'm out. Later.